Hello everybody. Before we get to our air pressure demos, I wanted to just go over how all the stations work, and I really hope that this is a lab that y'all enjoy. So the first station is called Kissing Balloons. So when you get to your station, you're going to see this sheet, and it has the general instructions. Now every single station is going to have an activity for you to do, and then it's going to have two questions. What happened, and explain why you think that happened. So as a group, as you go throughout the tables, if it's in partners or whatever, you will have a piece of paper with both your names, and then you'll write down the answers to those two questions. So you'd put Kissing Balloon Station, so that way I know which station it is. Number one, what happened? Number two, why do you think that happened? So with the balloons, it says to hold them about 6 inches apart. You're going to have balloons on strings. You don't need to get a ruler and literally measure 6 inches, just guesstimate. Okay, so you're going to hold them somewhat far apart, just about a foot, 6 inches, doesn't really matter. And it just tells you to blow through the middle of the balloons, and then you'll see what happens. That one's really self-explanatory. People just get caught up on, that's not 6 inches, and all that stuff, so don't go crazy with it. Please remember the most important lab safety rule. Follow all instructions. So don't do anything the instructions don't tell you to do, okay? The instructions do not tell you to sit on the balloon, nor do the instructions tell you to hit the balloon, and the instructions don't tell you to put the balloons up your shirt, okay? I say that because there's always that student that has done all those things, okay? Don't be that student. If the instructions don't tell you to do that in the lab, don't do it, okay? Follow the instructions. Plus, I don't have a lot of extra balloons, so if you pop them, you ruined it for everybody. Don't be that person. Okay, our next station is called Stop the Leak. So you are going to have a water bottle and a plastic bin. The water bottle, now I'm not actually doing this because I don't want to give anything away, but it's going to have holes throughout it, and so it's going to be leaking. You're going to have to use one finger to cover a hole to stop the leak. That does not mean one finger per person in the group. It means one finger total. The other thing you cannot do to stop the leak is, say the hole's up here or down here, you can't flip the water bottle over. The water actually has to be going through it, so without manipulating it that way, how could you stop it with actually only covering up one hole with one finger? That's what you're going to be looking at. So the important thing to do is, if someone is trying this out and then someone else goes, let me try, well, now if the water bottle is not over the bin, water is going to go all over the desk. So use common sense. Make sure this stays in the bin or just directly over it so water doesn't make a mess everywhere. The other thing is, these water bottles, more than likely the one that I'm going to use is going to be pretty flimsy. If you start like crushing the water bottle, it ruins it for everybody. So don't do that. Again, if the lab doesn't say to do it, don't do it, okay? This one doesn't always work, and I have a more foolproof method I could do if I was there. But instead, I'm just going to let you struggle with it. Productive struggle, always a fun thing. And then I'm going to explain why it doesn't work all the time. So don't get too frustrated if you end up not getting it to work within the minutes that you have there. Next station, ping pong funnel. So this one. You're going to have a funnel and a ping pong ball. Now, these have flour on them. My avid classmates stress balls, but I'll clean them before I get them to y'all. So you're going to put the ping pong ball in the funnel, and it tells you to blow towards the narrow end of the ping pong ball and to try to get the ping pong, or the funnel, to try to get the ping pong ball to fly out. Don't put your mouth on the actual funnel, okay? Don't do that. That's gross, sanitary reasons. You're just going to hold it up and blow towards the narrow part and see if you can get the ball to fly out the other end. Don't put your mouth on the funnel. That's gross, and flu season, and okay. No one wants to do that. And that's pretty much self-explanatory. Balloon magic. Ooh, magic. How exciting. Okay, you got 2 bottles. One bottle has a hole in it. It's the ginger ale one. Okay, that's not a secret. There's a hole in the bottom. You're going to have a balloon on the top of it, and if the balloon isn't there, you're going to set the balloon on it, and you're going to try to blow up the balloon in this one, and then you're going to try to blow up the balloon in the other one. You don't need to put your mouth all up on the bottle. Again, just to blow up the balloon. The other thing is when you are done with your balloon, unless somebody is just your best friends with them and they don't care about your germs, take the balloon off. So I'm struggling. But you'll take the balloon off and put it in. There's going to be a cup or something there that you can put it there. There's a used balloons. That way the next person can get a new balloon and put that on the bottle so that they don't have to have your germs, because that's just bleh. It may not be that everybody in the class, it may be only that one person can try this. So then if you are friends and you don't mind sharing, then fine. But I may not have enough balloons for everybody. They'll let you know before you start the lab. I'll count how many balloons I have later. And our last one. And then y'all don't get to see my face anymore. How sad. Okay, so you're going to have a bottle. This is called a $1 million bet. Do I have $1 million to give you? No. Otherwise, then I probably wouldn't be teaching, or at least would be taking the whole year off for maternity leave, not just a couple weeks. So you have a bottle, and you're going to have a little balled up piece of paper. If something happens to this little balled up piece of paper, it's not impossible to make a new little piece of paper, okay? You can manage. You're going to have the bottle set on the ground, and you're going to have the little balled up piece of paper on the, or not the ground, the table, and you'll have this little ball up there too. You're going to try to blow this piece of ball into the bottle. Now, obviously, if it's just sitting like this and there's a gap, you can't get it. So if you need to tilt the water bottle, you can. Or if you wanted to place the little piece of paper on the rim of the bottle and do it that way, you can try that as well. This one, the majority of the time, will not work, okay? Sometimes it will. If it works, I'm not giving you $1 million. No one's going to give you $1 million. It's not a real thing, okay? Sorry to burst your bubble, but boop, it's burst. Okay, if it works, then I even tell you on here, good for you. So proud of you. But don't be the person that's like, you owe me $1 million, because it's not going to happen. If it works, fine, move on. But what you're going to write about is the majority of the time it didn't work, so why was it not working all of the time? Or maybe you found a little trick that can make it work, but for the most part, why does it not work? That's what you're focusing on for this. Okay, so $1 million, not really. And those are all the stations. So you're going to have about 6 minutes per station, and then you'll rotate. Make sure you reset the station for people so that way they're ready to do it. Except for the balloon, just leave those off. That way there's no confusion on whether or not the balloon is clean or not. And those are all the instructions. So I hope you enjoy the air demos. And then we'll go over them, and who knows, maybe I'll make another video where it's like I'm actually there. Or maybe I'll pop in one day, who knows. But anyway, have a lovely day, and I will talk to you later.